Good evening, everyone. My name is Olga, and I'm continuing to read messages from Cosmic Christ, also known as Incarnate Jesus. As always, as a rule, I always remind that messages are received by Yelena Novosvit. She is from Ukraine, and messages are received in original Russian. And a group of light workers works tirelessly to translate them in English. Currently, she has written 19 books consisting of messages to an awakening humanity. And I'm reading, and we are working on translation as I'm reading the third book, which is called Christ, Messages to an Awakening Humanity, a New World. And as I said, the messages are originally in Russian, so there might be some small grammatical mistakes that we allow because we are Russian-speaking natives. And today I am here at the botanical garden of Laguna Niguel. As you can see, it is also a very, very beautiful place. You can hear the birds chirping and some cars in the distance. But overall, it is absolutely beautiful place, surrounded by nature. As I'm done showing you guys, I will start with the message. So, in the third book, in his messages, Christ explains those key commandments that he has given on top of the hill that are portrayed in the Holy Gospel. And today we're going to read about blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. And blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. So I will start with the message, and later I will tell you how much one of them, especially the one that blessed are, hold on a second. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. It's very, very dear to my heart and my soul message, and I will explain to you in the end why. So let's begin. Blessed are the poor in spirit. I want to talk about the world, the one you live in, the world that has major gradations of human manifestations, the world where all possible ascensions and descensions of a soul are manifested, the world of bliss and the rejection of life. About the world you came into to sort out everything, first of all, in yourself, in your essence. The aspiration of a human is directed to obtaining the joy and pleasure. The highest degree of these manifestations is a bliss. So what bliss did I talk about towering above all on the hill? I talked about the bliss of a spirit, because this is a state that is possible to feel here on earth. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for their kingdom is the kingdom of heaven. What does this phrase imply? What is your understanding of it? The poor in spirit, in my understanding, are the spirits that are free from worldly attachments. These are not tramps that beg on the road. These are those who manage to separate or distinguish their consciousness as the very basis of a human, having managed to reject all the temptations of the material world. The world of matter silences out the voice of the spirit in everyone living, and the demands of the flesh grow louder more and more often, while spirit, the cosmic particle, is compelled to hide behind the created barriers in the soul. For the life in the human society imposes its own imprints and sets its own criteria and aspirations. In accordance to those criteria, usually the main goal of people is the accumulation, life in luxury, the dream and the main goal of the majority. But there are also those who, having many benefits of the material world, are free in spirit. They have managed to distinguish inside them the main grain, and this grain is the service to the Creator. For one cannot serve two masters at the same time. Everyone has a choice, every soul, the choice of a true awareness of own immortality, or the choice of recognizing the true value only in the existence here and now in this body, recognizing only the criteria of the material world as genuine. The poor in spirit is a rough adaptation, but still has the following meaning. Isn't the soul more than food and the body more than clothes? Direct your sight to the soul. Allow yourself to accept what is gifted to you this day for support of life. The birds are those who set this example for you, for their life is built up on jubilation from the sense of freedom of their nature. The thoughts about the constant increase of their profits, their influence, their desire to seize the power and dominance are not pursuing them. They are free, for their possessions are minimal, and do not burden their thoughts. I mean that a human obsessed with thoughts about wealth, about material accumulation, usually loses her connection with God, because his or her soul falls into the nets which cover them off from the true light of the sky, not allowing the spirit to manifest itself and delaying the moment when the true awareness of the kingdom of God will come, which undoubtedly is inside of you. There is a key inside of you that will reveal you the truth and offer the right path, the way that will bring you to your divine source, the kingdom of God. Yes, blessed are the poor, but I would say free in spirit, for their soul has managed to separate the wheat from the chaff, has managed to distinguish that main meaning, the main goal that leads free soul to the development, to evolution. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Does the Creator crave for tears or tribulations of a soul? Is it a punishment, a life that is full of suffering and misery? I have already said that no. Every human having gone through all the tests can remain pure and grateful to the Creator for the opportunity to manifest his or her spirit and its power through different life situations. Having experienced a lot, to remain in the state of bliss is given only to those who have high spiritual potential. Revelation of the Spirit, its manifestation in serious life situation, is their comfort, and the feeling of bliss is their reward. Those who have gone through a lot will receive the highest senses of their soul, because the connection with the Spirit that otherwise couldn't be manifested will be restored in them. Blessed are those who will receive the highest bliss, who, having gone through much, experienced a lot, and have not become angry nor cursed God, but who accepted it as a gift for their own manifestation, as an ability to make accumulations of a different composition. Because those who suffered a lot, most of the time receive purification and transformation of a soul through their conscious desire. They leave this place having made step upward in their development, and often not just one. They have managed to distinguish, define, and to choose the direction of their path. Creator is not a barbarian, not a monster that sends you punishment and one after another, enjoying your suffering. You yourself have an ability, changing everything in yourself to change the world. Fill yourself with the light, and all the dark will leave you. And blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. The notion meek implies humility of a soul. These are those who were able to bring the energies of their soul into available equilibrium. These are those who consciously accept the Creator, believe in Him, and lay all their hopes that their heart, mind, and will are aspired toward, the alignment of all their aspirations with the will of God. What do I mean under the will of God? I mean that plan of your life, that canvas, that way that has been designated for you before you came here to earth, for there are no aimless comings. And therefore, for the manifestation of this program inside of you, it is important to be meek, accepting that a lot on the level of the spirit is not cognized by you, that the memory, its deeper essence, sleeps inside of you, not providing you with the ability to act in accordance with your accomplishments. It has been done so that all of you who live here are in equal position, that you have equal abilities and do not create priorities according to one's incarnations. You return to life in new quality, but with the former accomplishments. Everything is in you, and the ability of opening one's deeper memory is given to everyone. But how? Enter through the narrow gate, for the wide is the gate, and broad that leads to destruction, and narrow the way that leads to God. You have been given an opportunity. Excuse me, my daughter's trying to get through. You have been given an opportunity of free development according to the law of free will. A soul must work hard instead of looking for the easy ways. You are capable of self-revelation. You are capable of self-cognition. You are able to know what was inherited by your soul. And this is your spirit, with all its manifestations and accumulations through the incarnation in the physical body. Your inheritance is the potential of your spirit. Most of it came through the physical incarnations, through the connection of the sky, the divine substance, and the earth, the biological structure. You can receive the maximal inheritance by becoming meek and listening to the voice of the sky, the voice of God within you. You are all in equal position, and the highly evolved spirit that is the light to this world can also be transmitted of the pure energies of the Creator. Can also be transmitter of the pure energies of the Creator. They are those who will inherit the earth in the upcoming era, which will bring bliss to the meek, for their humble desire to listen to the voice of God, having transformed everything inside themselves for this. So be it. Teacher Christ, January 9th, 2002. I wanted to first clarify, guys, what means the voice of the sky. It is a figurative expression in Russian. The voice of the sky means the voice of heaven, the voice of God, the voice of higher realms. And the sky, because it's higher, so that what means the voice of the sky, which is pretty much the voice of the heaven. I also wanted to give you guys a little bit of an explanation what Christ means by accumulation of a different composition. Because every time we incarnate on earth, we accumulate different experiences. And we can accumulate experiences that lead us to the path of devolution. And I don't have to name, you guys know yourself what's right and what's wrong. Even we all do that. Even sometimes if it's wrong and we know it, we still do it. So we can, he brings our attention to pay attention what accumulations we want to bring with us, to our spirit, through our soul. And he wants us to focus on accumulation of a different composition, of a divine composition, of a composition of evolution, not a devolution. Also, I told you earlier that the commandment, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted, is very dear to my heart. I grew up experiencing lots and lots of emotional abuse. I was abused emotionally outside, calling names, being an outcast. And I was abused at home, excuse me, by a very tyrannic mother. I had no escape except one or two friends that were my sanctuary, that through them I did not lose my sanity. While I was outcasted, called names, made fun of, I always knew that I am a good person inside, that I don't deserve this. But at the same time, I did not blame God. While I believed in God, I did not blame God. I thought that there must be something wrong with me. I must be some kind of a mistake of a nature. I felt very different. I felt like an outsider on this planet. I always had a good intentions, but people were just like putting me down, making fun of me, and were very, very cruel emotionally to me and verbally. And all this did not make sense to me. I just wanted to run away from it. First, I ran away from it on 400 miles away from home. I was in the capital of Ukraine. That's where I went to hair school. And then I ran away from it to another side of the planet, which is America, where I am today. And I just wanted to start new life and never, ever, ever tell anyone what I've gone through, as I felt it's such embarrassment of being put down, made fun of, being just, I don't know about if you can call it not a loser, but I guess you can, what you guys, like what society would call today, or kids, loser, you know. I thought I'm going to bury it in my heart, in my soul, and no one will ever find out about it. And I will do everything for that to not happen again, for people not to hurt me again. When I came to America, first I experienced a little bit of alienation. I did not experience abuse, but again I experienced alienation. And that pain was still resurfaced, but I never ever acted up on it. Maybe subconsciously somehow, not somehow, I know exactly how it manifested. It manifested into anxiety and depression, but never ever I displayed anger or blamed God for this. Never in my life. I just thought that something is wrong with me. And at times, to be honest with you guys, I thought it would be better if I die. Not that the world would be a better place, but I was so exhausted from pain, all the pain and suffering that I endured, until I became awakened 3 years ago, through pain, again, through loss of my husband. until I became awakened. And that's when everything started to make sense. Not right away, but through healing. When spirits came, within one day, I was 80% healed of everything I've gone through. Not fully understanding yet. I received healing. I received healing through love. I realized how much I'm loved, how much I'm cared for, how much I'm precious to those who are in spirit. I did not know their names. I did not remember, I would say names. I did not remember their names. I could not point who they are, but I felt them all around me, surrounding with their love. And that day when I took pictures in my apartment, everything was pink, in a pink fog. I should have those pictures still. Even though I walked outside, my friend took a picture of me and the pink fog was around me. I literally have pictures of that. But anyways, as the time went by, although I received healing, that pain was comforted. Not so long ago, about half a year ago, or maybe a year, I started to understand strongly why I went through what I went. It is not because it was meant to punish me, which I had no idea why. I loved animals. I was always the one who bring them home, the stray animals, try to feed them, try to find them home. I was always the one who will be there for you and help you and give, totally selfless, giving everything I can and receiving bliss from giving. But it made sense. Everything I went through made sense. And that sense is I had to go through this and make the way out through God, through angels, so I can show the way to those who are going and falling down. I received this message and understanding very, very clear. Now everything that I've gone through, all the pain that I experience, is not my pain anymore. It's my wealth. It's my wealth because I overcame this. And I can share it with others. And when I mean share it, not to give someone pain, but to show them way out of the pain, to show them their inner strength, to let them know that they're not alone and they're not who society tells them they are. So that's why that message was extremely, extremely close to me. And when I read this, my breath was shortening. It was incredible. Many messages, all of these messages, there's something that resonates me in my soul, in my heart, because I have gone through a lot in my life. I really have. And hopefully you guys can find answers and resonation with these messages as well. For today, also one more thing before I finish. For those who wonder why our memory of our previous incarnation is not open to us, hopefully the last message, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth, clarified much as well. Because imagine if you were, in the last incarnation, you were rich, right? You were, I don't know, some kind of standing high in society. In this incarnation, you were destined to experience the poverty, to know the polarity of both sides of the coin of existence. That will mess with your head a lot. Or having gone through high positions in life in a previous life and be more of a middle class this life, you might have some pride, or may even look at people down somehow. So the golden words that Christ has said in the message, that the reason that we have no memory yet we can access it is because we are sent here to be equal. This really, really stood out to me and made a lot of sense of why we are how we are today. And also Yelena told me before, as she my spiritual mentor, that only those memories will be open to us that we can handle, with dignity, and we can navigate them. Although yes, we can have access to our memories of our past lives, of our accumulations with the certain practices, only those memories will be open that will not inflict harm on us, and only aid our ascension, only aid our evolution of the soul. So thank you everyone for listening to this beautiful message today. And although I mentioned that I will be reading messages on Friday, I will have to take it back and say no, I have to do it on Sundays at 7 o'clock. And the reason is because I'm a hairstylist and my job is very, very physical. And I can't, after work, I feel very exhausted, both physically and emotionally, because I work with a lot of people. And reading these messages, I take it very seriously. I can't just read it. I have to feel it. I have to transmit the energy. The energy has to be transmitted to me, through me, onto you guys. So I can't be reading it when I'm exhausted and have no energy for anything. That's why I decided to do it on Sundays at 7 in the evening by Pacific time. Thank you everyone, and have a wonderful, blessed evening.